Hello, thank you for joining me, Mike Basham from EC70. Welcome to the show. This is the PAX Podcast. You're officially our third podcast, so thank you for joining me today, Mike.
Awesome.
You are with EC70. You just completed the taste of Scottsdale, or the original taste in Scottsdale. PAX was the official ride service sponsor for that. We had a fantastic time. Kudos to you. It was the best event we've been a part of so far. We had an absolute blast. It was great. So, but as we jump in, tell me, how did EC70 and PAX get connected? Tell us that story. How did that work out?
Yeah, thanks for having me on, Dan. And again, thank you for your support of the taste. That was awesome having you guys out there. Actually, Rob McGeorge from your team has a family member who's a Life EC member. So there's active members who are actively, obviously, raising money and working on our events throughout the year. And then, after 6 to 7 years, usually guys will go Life and are still involved, still come to the meetings, but maybe aren't as involved with the setup and the fundraising part of things. And so a Life member, Tim Reardon, I believe is the nephew of Rob, and said you guys were looking to get involved in events like this. And after a few conversations, couldn't be a better fit. So we really appreciate you guys coming out, and glad you enjoyed the event.
I was very impressed. A sharp group of guys. From the moment I met you, I was like, man, this Mike guy's pretty sharp. I can't wait to meet other people who's involved with it. It's kind of funny. Tell a little story. When you invited us to come kind of preview before the taste, just to let the guys know, who we were, the fact that we were, an available service for them. And it was kind of funny. We're a new kind of service. We're not like some of the other apps that are out there. And so we can have a 2-minute elevator pitch, and one of your guys, because you can pick your own driver. So you can really form a relationship with your driver. And that's what is one of the unique parts about PAX. But when I, in the 2-minute elevator pitch, is just being up in front of everybody saying, hey, you can preview your driver, so you don't have a car that's driving up on, with a horse pulling a buggy. Like, you can really
Right.
get a premium ride. And he goes, so it's like TINDER for drivers. And it's just really funny that it was a nice softball pitch to knock it out of the park, going, hey, well, actually it kind of is. You can make sure that you're fit before you have to get in somebody's ride. So that was kind of neat. But I was very impressed with everybody that day when we got to meet with everybody there. You got a sharp group of individuals. They're young and they're all on fire. They're all hungry and making a huge impact in our communities here. So yeah, and they were all gracious the night of the event. How many people remembered to say hi to us and just thank us
Yeah.
for being there. We were just very impressed. So thank you again for that. So tell us a little bit more about EC70.
Well, EC70 is 70 young professionals across the valley that we're all raising money for children's charities here in the valley. We've got four flagship events, I should say. One being the Taste that you came to. That's our biggest event of the year, where we've got food and wine out there, restaurants from all over the valley, as well as Southern Wine and Spirits puts on a big show as far as bringing out a bunch of different food and cocktails and everything, live entertainment, all of that. Then we have our spring training event called Cantina. We're at Salt River Fields there. All you can eat, all you can drink for pretty much similar pricing to some of the tickets, just, before you buy a hot dog out there, and all supporting children's charities. The holiday shopping, where we take kids from UMOM out to Target and go shopping with them around the holiday times, which is definitely my favorite event of the year. And then we have our golf tournament in December, and that's at McCormick Golf Course. And we also do a deal for tax season, is where it gets heavy, is called SAY, or Sponsor Arizona Youth. People are redirecting their Arizona tax dollars. So it's a dollar for dollar tax credit, not a deduction, that you can, instead of giving it directly to the state, you can choose a charity of your choosing to direct it towards. Kind of like what PAX does on their app, as far as being able to choose charities to give to. Again, that was another thing that made us a good fit for you guys.
Yeah, no, there was a lot of synergy there. But what also was impressive to me is how many charities you guys help and are involved with. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, just around $4 million was the previous year's raise. I don't know. We're about to do our giving committee here in the summertime, where we actually get together and decide where, interview our charity partners and decide where those grants are going. But around 120 charities, all the way
Golly.
from the big ones like Phoenix Children's, Ronald McDonald, UMOM, which I mentioned, down to smaller ones, and actually onboarding ones that are new. There's actually a really cool one that we onboarded about 2 years ago called Lily's Pad, which I might not be doing it justice on the description, but it's kids who are battling serious illness, not all of them are able to go to a regular park and be on the swings just because they're susceptible to things. For actually, this lily pad is a playground for children going through stuff like that. That is, they use the same chemicals that the CIA uses to clean out when something bad happens, to keep this clean and a safe environment. There's several small ones, and a lot of times that smaller dollar amount means a lot to those charities as opposed to
Yeah,
some of the
I
big
can
ones. So
imagine.
I'm involved in the whole spectrum there.
Well, so that's one of the reasons I love the work here at PAX, because of how many community people we get to not just partner with, but we're starting relationships. Like, I would never have known about that and the work that they're doing if I wasn't connected or rubbing shoulders with guys like you that are making an impact in our communities. And so if there's this network that's happening of people that it's just raising awareness, like a lot of people need rides. Why not choose a ride service like PAX, where you can designate your dollars, that it's no cost to you. You can, every time you take a ride, if you don't know anything about PAX, we are a ride service that we vet all of our drivers. We make sure that they have a professional mentality, but each of our drivers are their own business owner. We don't own drivers. We don't employ drivers as PAX. We just find professional drivers who are running their own business and that want to make an impact in the community. So, we cover them in insurance. We pay their airport fees, benefits like that for drivers. So if you're a professional driver and you want to drive for PAX, we definitely want you to apply. But we also make sure that every rider, every time they take a ride, we educate them on going, hey, we have community partners here that are working really hard to make a really good difference in the community and in our society, and we want to introduce you to some of those. So as you ride, you can click a drop down and choose any nonprofit or charity of your choice that we've already established a relationship with. And we've only been on the road since February 1st. We've already got, I think, 9 partners, and Executive Council Charities is one of them. So I'm glad that the network that we've been able to be introduced to is working really hard to connect us to good people like you, Mike, because you guys are making a huge difference. And we just want to help expose people to that, but also get people plugged into how it's no cost. That comes off of the top of the share that PAX wants to make sure that we're giving to good charities and people who are working hard, like the EC70. So all year round, this isn't just an event like the original taste. Every time that they take a ride, a portion of that can be donated to the charity of their choice. So all year round, if you're plugged in with the EC70, if you know Mike or any of the guys that are helping to promote these charities, or if you're in one of these charities and you want to partner with us, you can do that directly. You can fill out our charity form. But you can do that today. You don't have to wait. You can schedule a ride today and then select EC70 as the beneficiary, and we will give them a portion of that ride every quarter. So get plugged in. Take a PAX ride if you haven't experienced it. Take it today. Get out there. You can schedule a ride. So if you're going out for this weekend, schedule your ride for Friday or Saturday. If you're going out on a date night, schedule your ride today. You don't have to wait, and you can browse all of our drivers. It doesn't have to be a random pick like the TINDER of ride service.
Right.
It's a great opportunity to match up with a driver that can be your driver. So, Mike, I know you got a jet to catch because you're a busy guy and you're on the move. Anything else you want to close with for the EC70?
Yeah, I think when we first met, it was kind of a no-brainer. And I thought when we first started talking, hearing about the product, not only for the philanthropic side of things that you've heard or talked about today, but to me, when I take a ride, a lot of times I end up talking to my driver and kind of, befriending them, especially if it's a 20-30 minute drive. And hearing when you guys told me kind of the breakdown of, if it's $100 ride, how much actually goes to the driver. um, you know, it's also pretty cool that, like you said, these drivers are the masters of their own destiny here, and they're
Right.
taking home a big share and getting what they deserve. And selfishly, you're riding in a nicer car with a better provider. So I think it's a win-win-win for everybody. So we appreciate the partnership and look forward to growing with you.
Great. I love it. Thank you, Mike. Thank you again for joining us today. We are looking forward to growing with you as well. So we'll have you back on the podcast before your next event, because we'll be your ride service provider for that one as well. And then make sure we promote it here on our brand new podcast as we go out. So share this with your friends. If you're watching today, share this on your social media. Help us get the word out that there's a lot of really good things happening here in Phoenix, and get your friends riding on PAX, because it goes to help a lot of really good people and community partners. Thanks, Mike. Thanks for joining me today. Thank you guys for joining and watching us live. And share this on your social media and like and subscribe so you can check us out as we continue to introduce you to more community partners. All right.
Thanks for having us, Dan.